So that's Volcan San Salvador, which I showed in another video, where the big crater is above the city. It hasn't erupted for a while, but it's still an active volcano. It was only about 100 years ago that the last crater formed inside the big crater. And there's Burger King. Two important things to note. This tree has the nicest bark. I've never seen this before. There's a few of them here in this roundabout park. Nice bark. Well, this is kind of weird. I've been taking buses the last couple of days, and I left El Salvador. And I got to this remote border crossing at the border of Guatemala and Mexico. And they refused me entry into Mexico. So it was about 5 o'clock, so I just walked back up the hill. And there's no power here, and there's no modern civilization as I'm used to. But I found this room for $11 a night. I think there's probably nicer ones. Maybe tomorrow I'll look more. So this morning I got up in my little room with the white mold on the walls, and I got on a bus, like a little van. And I went to the next town, and then I got on another little bus, and another little bus, and then a big bus, and now I'm entering Quetzaltenango, which is near the tourist attraction of Lake Atitlan. And so I'm going to stay here for a couple days downtown Quetzaltenango and figure out what to do next. I took those buses to the city of Quetzaltenango, which soon I'll show you a good look at. It's behind the trees over there. This is a park that overlooks the city. And it reminds me of a larger version of San Miguel de Allende in Mexico that I've spent a lot of time at. That old colonial center with the paving stones and the architecture. It's really cool. There's a few mountain bikers on the path. The park is pretty empty today, and there's no modern infrastructure here. It used to be something. There's an old toll booth and some structures that look like they've been abandoned for most of my life. Well, there's some maintenance at the top, and the road to get here. Somewhere here in the relative foreground of the city is where I'm staying. So here's that old city center of Quetzaltenango with its old colonial architecture. paving stones, a lot of them still remain, a lot of the buildings, and this bridge. It's a little bit bastardized by things like those stoplights, but pretty good. I think the exact same building, with a couple of small differences, exists in San Miguel de Allende and probably a lot of other cities. There you have the main plaza in the old colonial center. My hotel here in Quetzaltenango has some character. People are always playing with tasers around here, though. This building here is one of my favorites. Not that one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It's over here. It's a really cool old space here. Seems to be a nighttime location. It was closed during the day. And then there's this bar up here. Still closed. But pretty cool. I was gonna have a drink at that bar, but not tonight. Sometimes even at nicer hotels, this is one of the things you might have to deal with, is some pretty heavy current coming to your shower head. But I've never seen the breaker box in the shower. I've definitely never seen a conductive rod extending from the breaker box. What would an inspector say? Some things I like. The way that the fog came in the city this morning. And these abandoned buildings, the facades of these colonial era buildings that are all abandoned. A lot of them have no roofs. And a lot of them have dogs, packs of dogs that are living inside of them. And it's part of the culture here to leave out food and water for the dogs. And I'm yet to encounter a single aggressive dog, which is different from other places I've been recently. Here's one of the dog residences here. There were a lot of dogs last time I left. But the minute I showed them attention, then they started barking at me. Sorry, I don't have any food. Eye contact. That's a common thing with street dogs, is that if you make eye contact, then you get at least a little bit of aggression. But I've noticed for the most part that any serious aggression seems to have been bred out, because you can imagine a seriously aggressive dog would be eliminated. So even though there's thousands of street dogs living in lots of cities, the attacks are not so common. I remember my dad always talked about to my mom when they went to Guatemala how elaborately all the trucks were decorated. And I'm about to take a bus to Lake Atitlan today, so I've come back to the station, and the school buses that are imported here, some of them are very well decorated, like this one straight up ahead. And a lot of them have a combination of no gracias. Religious symbolism and gangster symbolism and images of the narco saint. It's just a clash of cultures that isn't really a clash in this case. I've never seen this many of them anywhere. Sometimes you'll see buses like this other places, but this was the first time here. I'm looking for a bus to Panajachel, where I'm going to stay tonight on the lake, so I'm looking for the word Panajachel on a bus. There's a couple different theories about bus driving. One is to go slow and save fuel. The other is to go really fast and get in the most trips as possible. And this driver is of the camp of going really fast, passing everybody else. It's pretty hard to hold on. I've almost arrived to the lake. This is the village that's just up the hill from the lake. Panajachel on Lake Atitlan. I arrived to my hotel here, and over the next few days I'll be exploring the lake, which is right behind those buildings about 200 feet away. This place is awesome. Coming down the mountains on the twisting highway to the lake is an unforgettable experience. And the little room I found here even has hot water. Electrical hot water, but hot water for 125 quetzales per night, so it's like $15. Pretty nice. Let's see the lake. So, this is the place near a friend of a friend's eco farm that I was going to check out. This village that I took the boat to. And the lodging that I booked for a week is the Maya Moon Lodge. And it just arrived a couple hours ago. So, this is where I hang out till next Friday. I'm gonna take that yellow tube and I'm gonna get in the water. The water taxis come by every few minutes, and it's about 25 quetzales to go to the next town. I think that's the foreigner price. I think the local price is like 15 quetzales. Oh, I just talked to that guy for a few minutes. I'm good enough to speak basically in Spanish with people who don't speak English, like him. But I can quickly get lost if the conversation gets complicated. This is the road that the Maya Moon Lodge is on. There's another town just a mile up the road. It's late in the afternoon, so taking a walk. This village, San Marcos, has some nice streets. Not much traffic. It's as busy as it gets right there. Some unusual businesses on the street. You can get crystal therapy here. 300 quetzales for 60 minutes. Here at the end of the street there's a lot of yurt construction. These streets are getting pretty narrow. You wouldn't expect to find something like that on a street like this. So to enter my lodgings, pull the string here. and go down a whole bunch of stairs. Hi, dog. I think that this dog's name is, what was your name? It was like Big Boss 123. No, Big Boss 123 is the Wi-Fi password, but the Wi-Fi password is named after the dog. So I think it's like Big Boss. Alright. You like that? Okay. Maybe later. Maybe later. En mi habitación está arriba. It does appear to have hot water. At least there's 2 shower handles.